Last month I built a new, unstoppable modern deck. With no way to win? Kind of. This Golgari Rock deck is methodical in picking apart opponents, and today we're going to try a new win con, anti-opponent win con, leaving adversaries helpless, hopeless, with no way to win. We're going to loop one rings using Arcbound Reclaimer under Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Will our opponents have the perseverance to fight it out? Let's find out. Alright, let's rock and roll. We're on the play. Opening 7 looks good to me. Opponent keeps their 7-card hand. We're going to start with Verdant Catacombs, pass a turn. Opponent with an Undercity Sewers, looking like Dimir Frogtide. We're going to keep the fetch land up for a basic. Draw into a second Cauldron, play out our Forest, fetch a Swamp, and stick our Cauldron. Basic Plains, wasn't expecting that. Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. Welcome back 2017. Meant to eat the Delta end of turn, that's okay. Drawn to a Rumble, which is pretty good. Start there. I think we'll take a 1 ring here. No, let's take Windswept Teeth. Overgrown Tomb, shock it in. Fatal Push Jace. And we're going to take that ability and put it on our spawn in a moment. Opponent's going to surveil. Card on top. Emperor of Bones. Trigger the Emperor. Eat our 1 ring. That's fine. In turn, we'll eat their Jace. Untap. Draw Haywire Might. Play out Windswept Teeth, fetch. Forest. 1 ring. Trigger. Draw a card. Urza's Saga. I'm not exactly sure how this ability works on our spawn. I think I'm just going to play out the Spell Bomb here and pass turn back. Marsh Flats, fetch, surveil, leave a card on top, 2 mana for a Prismatic Ending. We'll eat a land out of their graveyard. Emperor of Bones, eat our Abrupt Decay. They attack, but we have Ring Protection. No damage. Go down to 15, draw Shifting Woodland. Let's start by drawing 2 cards. Find a Shieldred and another ring. Play out our Saga, trigger. Play out another Cauldron, Haywire Might, opponent's turn. Flooded Strand, Emperor Bones trigger, eat the Fatal Push. Attack for 2, we'll go down to 13. We'll eat their Prismatic Ending end of turn. Coming back to us. Ring, we'll take 2, down to 11. Orcish Bowmasters, Saga up to 2. Player Shifting Woodland. Let's draw 3 cards. 4 mana for another ring. Opponent fetches, Hallowed Fountain, and a Force Negation. That's fine. We're just going to leave up our Bowmasters, and we'll pass turn. Marsh Flats, eat a Windswept Teeth, attack for 2, Bowmaster, hit the Emperor, block with the Orc Army. Okay, and they're going to adapt the Emperor, which is what I wanted them to do. Kill our Orc, and we'll eat their Force end of turn. Ring, put us down to 8, draw an Abrupt Decay, Saga up to 3, nothing to get, play a Shadow Spear, equip it to the Bowmaster. I'm trying to incentivize the Solitude here. Attack for 2. Okay, they just take it. We'll play out the Beseiju, and I'll play the Shieldred. Opponent fetches, gets a Swamp, and we'll pass turn. They untap, lose 2. Overgrown Tomb, shock. They're a mana off of hard casting Atraxa. Oh, they actually can hard cast Atraxa, sure. Trigger the Atraxa. Alright, and these are the cards they chose off the Atraxa. Trigger Emperor Bones, eat our Saga, end of turn, eat a Marsh Flats, draw 4 cards, gain 8 life, untap, ring trigger, take 4, draw a card, up to 16, 3 mana for a Grist, our opponent scoops it up. Despite how good Shieldred was that game, we're going to board it out along with these other cards and board in these cards. Game 2, we're lacking Graveyard Hate, so I think we're going to mulligan this one. This hand's better. We'll keep this and get rid of the Overlord. Overgrown Tomb, shock. Ghost Vacuum. Second Cauldron, don't hate it. We're going to fetch shock. Down to 18. Halfling, 17. Go ahead. Marsh Flats, fetch. Hallowed Fountain, shock. Could be a frog. I wonder if they're playing Leyline Binding. Nope, Prismatic Ending. Untap. Grist, pretty good. Woodland, Cauldron. See if they have a Force. They're thinking about it. And they do. Consigned to Memory is the card they discarded. 2 cards in hand. They're going to be super disappointed when they find out we have another Cauldron. Ghost Vacuum our Foothills. 2 mana Frog. Frog is good. Back to us. Basic Forest, play that out. Let's Rumble to start. We see Halfling, Grist, 1 ring. I think I'm going to take the ring here. 1, 2, another Cauldron. They should vacuum in response. Okay, and they eat the Grist. Cauldron down. And we're going to hold off on using the Cauldron just to protect ourselves from a Reanimate spell. We'll take a hit from the Frog, but not a big deal. Attack, down to 16, they'll draw a card. Guess we'll see if they have another counter spell in their hand. Play a land and pass. We're not going to activate our Cauldron, just because they could potentially discard a creature to the frog and then reanimate it in response. Let's play the Besage, and I'm going to try to force this One Ring. See if they have another Consign. Nope. Draw a card. Found an Urborg, pass turn. Okay, they Ghost Vacuum, end of turn, that's fine. No attacks. Back to us, ring trigger. Down to 15. Draw a Decay, really good, can hit the frog. Let's draw 2. Another Cauldron and a Rumble. Play our Grist. Uptick Grist. Saga to the graveyard. Ghost Vacuum, our Saga, that's fine. They play a land. We're going to trap them here. We're going to let them get the frog flying, attack into Grist, discard a bunch of cards, and then we're going to kill it in response. Attack Grist, give it flying, no blocks, discard 1, discard 2, discard 3, fetch, and we're going to kill the frog. They Surveil, another Ulamog to the graveyard, untap, ring trigger, and they scoop it up. Nice clean 1-0. Opponent reveals a Giganta. Generally, I like removal in this matchup, but we're going to keep this. Opponent keeps their 7-card hand. We'll start Tomb tapped. Windswept Teeth, back our way. We draw a Saga. I think we're just going to play out our Verdant and pass. They fetch, Surveil, Pride to the graveyard. Either hub. Bombardment, sure. And we'll go back our way. Draw Woodland. I'm going to play out my Saga, and we'll Rumble. Alright, we see Reclaimer, Grist, Spellbomb, and Saga. Interesting choices, which we should be able to deal with. So I think I'm just going to take another Saga. Pass the turn. Basic Mountain, Giganta to hand. Back our way, untap. Found a Halfling, Saga up to 2. We'll fetch. I'm going to get a basic Forest, Woodland, Halfling. I think they have removal for that, but that's fine. And our ring, trigger, draw a card, pass turn. Raptor, trigger. Intuit and a Johnny, that's pretty good. Probably one our Halfling and then kill our Halfling. 0.1 damage at the Halfling. Flip the Ajani. Make a cat. Hit the Halfling. Marsh Flats. Back our way. Ring trigger. Draw a card. Add a mana. Get the Might. We're definitely getting rid of the Bombardment. Let's start by drawing 2. Okay, another Bowmaster isn't bad. Play a Cauldron. Another Saga. Trigger. And we'll pass turn. They fetch. Surveil. Card on top. They're going to uptick the Ajani. We're going to respond. Hit their Bombardment. Bowmaster. And we'll hit the Raptor. So they get a dude. Play land. Static Prison is fine. Eat the ring. Sure. No attacks. End of turn. I'm going to eat the Reclaimer. Counter on the Bowmaster. And they discharge the Bowmaster. Sure. Okay. Untap. We'll put Haywire Might back on top. Draw for turn. There's the Might. Play our Woodland. Might. Hit down the Prison. We'll draw a card. Found a land. And we'll pass turn back. Opponent fetches. Foundry tapped. Okay, they have a ring, which is fine. Trigger the ring. Activate the ring. Bowmaster. Hit the cat. They're going to bolt the Bowmaster in response. That's fine. We'll eat the Might. Counter on Orc Army. And then blow up their ring. Okay, they make a dude. Play a land. Tapped. Attack for 2. Back our way. Ring trigger. Saga up to 3. Make a construct. Get a Shadow Spear. Draw 2. Found another ring, so we can start looping soon. Play a land. Rumble. Grist to hand. Eat a Grist. Counter on the spawn. Uptick. And now we've got a ring in the graveyard. Opponent plays Giganta. Uptick the Ajani. They'll get to hit for 4. Hit our construct. Play land. Attack. We'll block one of them. Back our way. 17. 15. Draw push. Draw 3. Uptick. Double hit. 3 mana for Grist. Minus Grist. Sack an insect. Kill a Johnny. Play a land. Eat a Johnny. Counter on the insect. Uptick. Another Rumble. We'll take another ring. And we'll just pass turn back. Discard a fetch land. Opponent with a ring. Sure. Trigger. They activate. We'll sack our insect and get rid of their ring. And they scoop it up. No win con needed. We've got 6 coming in this matchup, 6 going out. Culling Ritual is a house. This 7's close. I think we're going to mulligan this one. Okay, we'll keep this 6. Put a land back. We'll put the tomb back. Opponent, Arid Mesa, fetch. Sacred Foundry, shock. Guide of Souls. We'll start Verdant. That was a good draw. Pass turn. Either hub. Trigger. Raptor. I'm going to respond, and we're going to kill the Guide of Souls. Raptor trigger, Thraben Charm, see if they use it or not. They don't. Found a Tomb, play our Farce, pass turn. Opponent attacks for 2, we're going to take it. Elegant Parlor, trigger. And a Stony Silence. That's kind of funny. Sure. We'll Bowmaster, hit down their Raptor. Untap, Saga, attack for 2. And I'm going to hold on to this Cauldron just in case I need to use this ritual. Opponent with the land, a second Stony Silence, okay. And they do nothing else. Draw a ring, Saga up to 2, combat, attack, play a Tomb, tapped, and then we'll be making a Construct end of turn. Static Prison, they're going to hit our Bowmaster, no, hit our Orc Army. Construct, Saga up to 3, Construct, we'll get a Spellbomb. Attack in for 4, opponent's at 9, land tapped, here go. They pay for the Prison for some reason. Play another Prison, see if they hit a Construct. They do, followed up with an Exercise. Untap, draw a push, combat, attack for 1, play a land, and I'm going to play out this ring, pass turn back. Prison 1, Prison 2. They play a ring of their own, they can't use it because they're Stony Silences. Untap, trigger the ring, draw a Rumble, we'll play that. Found another ring, I'll put that to hand, and we'll just pass turn. Opponent with 2 in hand, they do nothing. Ring trigger, draw land, combat, attack, land for turn, go. Opponent has quite the combo going over there. And they don't have Giganta, so can't put that to hand. We'll Surveil, Presage you to the graveyard. Untap, draw land, land, go. Fear Fire Foes, they're going to kill our Bowmaster. And I'm going to hold on to this fetch land for the Fatal Push. Ring trigger, draw another land, play it out, pass turn. Alright, land for a land. Draw another Cauldron, pass it back. They drew a Bombardment, that's fine. In turn we'll fetch. Surveil, Fatal Push, put to the graveyard. Bowmasters is good. Pass turn. I'm going to hold on to this Bowmaster for the turn I ritual. Windswept Teeth, play that out, pass turn. Opponent with an Ajani, trigger. I'm going to push the Ajani, which is going to prompt them to sacrifice it and flip it, and then we'll ritual on our next turn. Untap, ring trigger, draw Grist. That's what I was looking for. 1, 4 mana, ritual, 5 mana pool, draw a card off the Spellbomb, draw a card off our ring. Opponent's going to draw a card in response. We're going to Bowmaster, hit them down to 5. They draw a card, they're going down to 4. We draw the Reclaimer. We'll play a Grist, uptick Grist, another ritual to the graveyard. And I don't think we have enough fetchables to be able to play this other ring. So we're just going to pass the turn, leave up our Decay. Opponent's down to 3 life. And they're going to draw 2 more, go down to 1 life. They either need a Flage or another ring. Okay, and they have a Flage. Hit our Bowmaster, go up to 4, and then another ring, trigger, back our way. Untap. Ring, deals us 1, draw a push, draw 2, found a Shieldred, uptick Grist, play a Might, play a Shieldred, we'll fetch, get a Swamp, Cauldron, Ether Flage, counter on Shieldred, and we'll just pass turn. Ring trigger, they draw a card, go down to 2, exercise Shieldred, and I'll respond by exiling their ring. Ring is gone, Shieldred's gone, they have 4 in hand. Another ring, okay. They draw a card, effectively at 1 life, and play a Guide of Souls. Ring trigger, down to 12. Saga, let's draw 3. Play a land, 1, 2, 3, 4, another ring. Push Guide of Souls, eat a halfling, counter on the insect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reclaimer, Might, and draw a card. Found a woodland. Opponent's at 1 life. Raptor, trigger, Ajani. Cast the Ajani. Guess I didn't use my Grist last turn. Ring. Sure, I'll let you draw 2. Another ring. Trigger the ring. Land. Back our way. Reclaimer. We're going to put a ring on top. Untap. Ring. Down to 11. Draw the ring. Saga up to 2. Reclaimer. We'll put Spellbomb on top. Modular. Spellbomb's on top. Draw 2. Play a Saga. Play another ring. Keep the new one. Loop has been established. Spellbomb. Uptick. Suppose I could have just minused and killed them. Oh well. Ether Reclaimer. This is more fun. Counter on an insect. Haywire Might on top. Draw a card. Play a Haywire Might. No attacks. Pass turn. Opponent's going to draw a card. Had a mana exile their ring. Windswept Teeth. Blood Moon's going to hit our Saga. We'll add 2 mana and we'll let our Sagas go away. Okay, the Blood Moon. End of turn, I'm going to put a ring on top. Untap. Down to 12. Draw a ring. 2 more. 4 mana, play a ring. Keep the new one. Play a Saga. Shadow Spear. Equip. Attack with the team. Blocks. Thraven Charm. I'll put a ring on top. Put a Haywire Might on top. That's fine. Damage. Flip the Ajani. Minus Grist. And they're dead. Alright. Round 3. Take the play. Opponent. Hook Companion. Opening 7. This looks pretty good. We'll keep this. They're on a mulligan to 6. Start the Verdant. Pass turn. Huggin's Labyrinth. Don't love to see it. Sire of 7 Deaths underneath it. Talisman. End of turn. Fetch. Mortuary. Surveil. Cauldron to the graveyard. Untap. Draw Woodland. We're going to lean on our Saga. Trigger. And we're going to Besage you down this Labyrinth now. Commercial District. Card on top. This is this deck's worst matchup, most likely. Untap. Find another Cauldron. Play out our Woodland, and we'll pass it back. They fetch. Breeding Pool. Another Labyrinth. Devour underneath it. 4 mana for a ring. Be able to get the answer to that. Draw a card. End of turn. Create a construct. Untap. Draw Shadow Spear. Add a mana. Get the Might. Might down the ring. Overlord. Trigger. And I'm going to get the Might back. No attacks, pass turn. Overlord down to 4. Opponent with a land. And this is a Myco spawn that's going to be pretty brutal. It is. Alright, we're going to scoop it up. Alright, we're going to board in 9 cards. A bunch of ways to attack their mana base. And we're going to board out Fatal Pushes and other cards that aren't particularly relevant. Take play. 7 does the thing. We'll keep it. Start the basic Swamp, pass turn. Opponent with a Labyrinth. World Breaker underneath it. Another Fulminator. We're going to play out the Besage You. And we'll Rumble. And take a Haywire Might. Opponent adds mana. Plays a Talisman. So they must have drawn that for turn. Forest. Back our way. Verdant Catacombs. We'll play out the Urborg. Fulminator. Blow up their land. Haywire Might. Pass turn. Opponent with a Rumble. They take the Temple. Play it out. Back our way. Draw an Overgrown Tomb. Play out the Verdant. Move to combat. Attack for 1. Another Fulminator. Blow up their Temple. They add mana. And they're going to command for 1. Get a spawn. Card on the bottom. Temple's gone. Exile the Talisman. Woodland. Back our way. Looking for a Cauldron now. I should have surveilled during upkeep. That was a mistake. Verdant. Bowmaster. Hit the spawn. And they sacrifice it in response. Opponent's turn. 6 in hand. No more lands. We'll fetch end of turn. Surveil. Trigger. Ring. Put it on top. Untap. Draw the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ring. Trigger. Draw a card. Found a Woodland. Play that out. Combat. Attack. Now we can Woodland Fulminator and blow up another land. Opponent with 7 in hand. And they scoop it up. Going to game 3. Opening 7. This isn't good enough. We'll mulligan. This is not great either. Let's mulligan to 5. We'll keep bottom of Verdant and a Bowmaster. Opponent reveals a Devourer. Exile all 4. Huggin's Labyrinth. Devour underneath it. Into a Talisman. We draw a Rumble, which is pretty good. We'll start with a fetch, Shock, and a Halfling. Stomping Ground Shock. Utopia Sprawl. 4 mana. It's going to be a Myco spawn. A Rumble. Okay. And they have the option of Forest or Devour. They take the Devour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana available for now. We find a Saga. So I can blow up their Labyrinth and play out the Saga. I think that's fine. They get the Commercial District. Put a card on top. So I can play out the Haywire Might, but if they have Kozilek's Return, that'd be really bad. No, I think we're going to wait. Just attack in for 1. Opponent sends 16. They play a land. They're going to add 6 mana. This is going to be a Myco spawn. This card is stupid. Hit our tomb. We know one of the cards in their hands, a Devourer. Eldrazi Temple into play. Draw a second Saga. Play it out. And we're just going to pass turn back. 7 mana. Devour. Hit down our Halfling. Make a construct in response. I don't understand why every time I play this deck, I always get mana screwed. They attack. We'll take a hit for 3. Untap. Draw a Fulminator. We're going to scoop it up. Alright, let's see if we can finish out on a high note. Take the play. 7 seems fine. Start with Verdant, pass turn. Opponent with Wooded Foothills. So this could be Storm or Eldrazi again. We're going to fetch Surveil. Fatal Push. We'll put it to the graveyard. We'll look for a land. Cauldron, not bad. We'll just play a land pass turn. They fetch, surveil, getting Eldrazi vibes. Mutagenic growth. Okay, so this is prowess, basic mountain, fear of missing out. Oh, trigger. I should have bowmastered in response. That was dumb. Yield to the end step. We'll fetch. Let's go basic forest and bowmaster. Untap. Okay, land is good. So I can rumble, or I can just grist minus kill the fear of missing out, which I think I'm going to do. And we're going to try to incentivize them to attack into the grist. Combat, attack, put them to 17. Opponent, stomping ground. Slick shot, lava dart the bowmaster, lava dart the grist. Kind of wish we kept this fatal push now. Double bobble. Hopefully they crack these bobbles. Okay, good. So we'll be able to kill a show off. Attack for 9, we're going down to 8. Upkeep, bowmaster, hit the show off, hit the show off, bowmaster hit them. Alright, land would be good. Found another grist. I'll play out our might, pass turn. 2 mana, fear of missing out. Discard a legion leadership. Bowmaster them, coming back our way. Draw a halfling, and I think we're gonna start with a rumble. Ring, land. We'll take a land. Play it out, fetch a basic. Cauldron, eat grist, counter on the bowmaster. Uptick, and we'll attack for 4. Could definitely lose from this position. 2 mana, opponent plots a show off. Okay, no attacks. We should have the win from here. Untap, uptick, Shieldred to the graveyard, land to the graveyard. Play our saga, grist, minus, sack a spawn, kill the fear of missing out. Attack, eat one of their creatures, counter on an insect, and that is lethal. Alright, we're going to pull out a lot of our slower cards and bring in more removal and graveyard hate. Now let's take a risk. We're going to keep this. Opponent Bloodstained Mire, fetch, Stomping Ground, shock, Dragon's Rage. Drawn to a saga, which is good. We'll just start with a Polluted Delta and pass turn. Opponent attacks for 1, go down 19. Second Dragon's Rage. And end turn we're going to fetch shock, as much as I'd like to preserve my life total, and kill a Dragon's Rage. Untap. Another saga, play it out, pass turn. Opponent finds their second land, fetches, basic mountain. Interesting they're doing this pre-combat. Trigger fear of missing out, puts a tar fire to the graveyard, and we're going to kill the Dragon's Rage. Untap, draw forest, which means we will be able to ritual next turn. Play out the forest, and I'm just going to pass the turn and leave up the saga as a blocker. And hopefully we don't die. Commercial District, surveil, Arena of Glory to the graveyard. Opponent attacks for 2, go down to 14, attacks for 2, we'll make a construct. Block, Pithing Needle, they name Cauldron. Untap, draw a ring, add a mana, we'll get a spell bomb, play another land, we're going to play the ring. Trigger, draw a card. I want to get them to commit more to the board before we fire off this ritual. Back their way. Second Pithing Needle, we'll crack our spell bomb in response. Exile their graveyard, probably going to name the ring, and they do. No attacks, draw a Cauldron, saga up to 2, play land, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's ritual now. Ritual. Okay, opponent fires off Apostle's Blessing on their Pithing Needle. Still gets wiped off the board, which I was pretty sure that was going to happen. Green, black, and opponent scoops it up. We'll take the play. 7 seems fine. We'll keep it. Opponent's on a mulligan to 6. Heath, go. Scalding Tarn, and I'm going to fetch Surveil. Fatal Push to the graveyard. Hoping this is Marktide, or Frogtide, I should say. Draw up a Seiju, play a Forest, and I'm going to yield through the turn. We'll get more information before we do anything. Opponent fetches, Hedge Maze. Don't see that every day. Could be Living End. They untap. Steam Vents, Shock, Rumble. Okay, Breach, cool. And they take the Breach, which we do have the answer to in the form of Beseiju. Untap, draw a Halfling, don't hate it. We'll Rumble. Ring, Saga. Ring isn't great in this matchup. I think I'm going to take a Saga and we'll play that out next turn. Overgrown Tomb, shock that in. And the question is, can we die from here? I think it's unlikely. I'll play out the Halfling and pass the turn. Misty Rainforest, fetch. This is going to be a ring of their own, most likely. Island, 4 mana. There it is. Draw a card, back our way. Find a Bowmaster, which isn't bad. Let's start 2 mana for a Rumble, a second Bowmaster, or a Woodland. I think we'll go Woodland, see if we can draw some cards with our ring. Play a Saga, trigger, pass turn. Opponent with a ring trigger, down to 15. Draw 2, we'll fire off the Bowmaster. This is going to get killed in response, or spell snared. 8 in hand, Bobble, Mox Amber. It's going to be Emery, no, Springleaf Drum, Emery, trigger. Grinding Station is in the graveyard. Look at our top card, and they have 4 in hand. Bobble, trigger, find a Shadow Spear, Saga up to 2, play our Woodland, so I can Shadow Spear and blow up their ring with the Beseiju, and then Fatal Push down the Emery. Shadow Spear, activate, 1, 2, Beseiju the ring. They'll get a land off of that. Okay, so this is a little bit of a problem now, because I can't, yeah, I tapped my mana wrong, because I can't use the decay and the push. That's a pretty big mistake. So I just have to let them Emery back the ring now, which is really bad. Or they might Emery the Grinding Station, in which case we have an out for that. So we'll see what they do. That was bad. Put them with Stomping Ground, Shock, Tamiyo, Bobble. So if they breach and then cast their other breach, we'll just probably lose the game. So they can play around us interacting with them. There's the breach. We'll see if they do it. 2 mana. Hopefully this is Grinding Station. And it is. We'll decay the breach. Got lucky. They have their Grinding Station, trigger. So a punt for a punt. Bring back a Bobble, play the Bobble, trigger. Look at our top card. Look at our top card again. We'll untap. They draw 2. We draw an Urborg. 3 mana, make a construct. And they Unholy Heap my construct. That's fine. We'll get a Spellbomb. Maybe I'm supposed to get a Might there. Play an Urborg. So I can kill the Tamiyo and then Spellbomb in response to Emery, whatever it targets. And then next turn I can copy the Spellbomb with the Woodland if I so choose. So let's do this. Hit the Tamiyo, 1, 2, equip the spawn. They're at 12. If they have another breach, we still could lose from here. Okay, they're gonna target the 1 ring. We're gonna exile their graveyard. Had a black, draw a card, found a Rumble, that's really good. They play a land, Breeding Pool, Shock down to 9, mill a bunch of cards. Okay, and they do have a second breach, so this is gonna be lethal. Alright, we're bringing 6 cards in, attack their artifacts in their graveyard, and we're going to board 6 cards out. Rings are really bad in this matchup. Take the play. 7 looks good, we'll keep this. I'm going to start Overgrown Tomb and a Spellbomb. Opponent with an island, Bobble, Amber. It's going to be an Emery, trigger, Grinding Station in the graveyard. They're going to look at our top card, untap, draw Grist, play a land, we'll fetch, get a Forest, Fatal Push Emery. I'm debating whether I should use this Needle now or hold on to it. I can name Station, I can name 1 ring. I could also name Saga. I think we'll hold on to it. Opponent with a Woodland, tapped, untap. We find a land, which I like. Play that out, fetch, swamp. I'm playing around a Spell Snare here for my Cauldron. Wrist, uptick, Rumble to the graveyard. They untap, 2 mana. It's another Emery, Rumble, ring, ring, Tarn, Stomping Ground. They go for a ring. Scalding Tarn in play, draw Verdant, start with attack for 1, put them in 19, uptick Wrist, ring to the graveyard, play land. I'm going to play the Needle and I'm going to name Ring. They fetch, surveil, Scalding Tarn to the graveyard, name the 1 ring, pass turn. I suppose I could have Cauldron there, I probably should have. 1 mana for a Tamiyo, 2 mana for a Breach. So if they have Grinding Station in their hand, we could lose from here. I think we're going to Spellbomb and draw a card. Alright, see if they get us. 2 mana. Okay, they have the Grinding Station, so this is going to be game. Not sure why that required so much thought. I don't think there's anything we can do from here. I'm going to scoop it up. Pretty excited that we got to loop our Reclaimer with the ring in match 2. This deck is gas, give it a try. Let's open up a chest. And a bunch of nonsense, as usual. Thank you for watching. I will see you all again very soon. Until next time, you know the deal. Be well, my friends.